It takes a long time, huh?
The future is shaped by the choices we make today. What if we could tackle climate change, biodiversity loss, and social challenges using the power of nature itself? This is the Nature-Based Future Challenge, a global competition for students ready to create real impact. In the second edition, we focus on the Mississippi River Delta in Louisiana state, rising sea levels, land loss, human impact, and environmental degradation threaten communities and ecosystems. But nature holds the key. Imagine the Delta in 2120. Thriving ecosystems, resilient communities, and nature-based solutions, ensuring food, water security, and sustainable jobs. This is the vision you could help create. A future where nature leads the way. The Nature-Based Future Challenge is an interdisciplinary competition where experts guide you in turning bold ideas into real solutions. You'll develop your vision for the Mississippi River Delta, gain valuable skills through workshops, and potentially unlock job opportunities. Beyond the competition, it's a chance to grow professionally, make lifelong connections, and create meaningful impact. Are you ready to make a difference? Sign up now and join the Nature-Based Future Challenge 2025. The future starts with you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this info session about the Nature-Based Future Challenge. My name is Marta Ehers, and I'm one of the producers of this challenge, and I'm happy to welcome you here. Today, we will explain you all the ins and outs of the challenge, tell you about the practicalities, and also share with you the experience of the former participant. But before that, we have here Dr. Rachael Hunter from the Comte Resources, which is a consultancy firm with more than almost 30 years of experience in coastal Louisiana. And she's joining us here to explain the very important context of this challenge. So she knows a lot about different projects in this region, and she will start this webinar by explaining a lot about the context of the challenge so that you understand what is playing out in southern Louisiana and how can you contribute by participating in this challenge. So in a minute, I will give a floor to Dr. Rachael Hunter. Before that, just a short explanation. So we'll be taking questions in the chat. First, please ask the questions about the topic that Dr. Rachael Hunter is talking about. And when I will be explaining the ins and outs of the challenge, then you can ask your questions about the logistics, and we will answer them after the presentation. So Rachael, great to have you here. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Yes, so I'm super excited to hear your presentation. I'm also not super familiar with the coastal Louisiana, so I'm very excited about hearing what you have to share. And I would like to give floor to you. I will set up your presentation and switch off my microphone and camera.
Okay, thank you.
I guess we start at the end, so I have to review it. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, that is coming.
Yeah. Everyone gets a preview.
Yes. Yes, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachael Hunter. I'm a wetland scientist living in coastal Louisiana. I've been working in the Mississippi River Delta for the past 30 years. And I see that we have people from all over the world, so I'm going to try to speak slowly because I understand that English may not be everyone's first language. And I'm going to start the presentation by talking about the formation of the Mississippi River Delta, and then go into some of the challenges that we face with restoration and sustainability. So this is, of course, the United States. This is Louisiana here, and this portion right here is the Mississippi River Delta. This is the Mississippi River and all of its tributaries that flow into the Mississippi River. This area, the Mississippi River watershed, drains about 41% of the contiguous United States. So a lot of sediment, fresh water, and nutrients flow down from this portion of the United States and flows into the Mississippi River Delta. And that's how the delta was formed, by the placement of sediments from this Mississippi River basin. Lately, in the last 100 years or so,
Rachel, sorry, we lost you for a second. Maybe could you switch on your camera and microphone? If you could put it on, I'm really sorry about that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Okay, now it works. I'm really sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So should I start on the last slide again?
Yeah, if you could, sorry about that.
That's okay. Is there a way to, it looks like my slides are blocked by our pictures.
Yeah, I'm going to switch off my, and also Dr. John Day. I will also put off the cameras, and then you can see it. We can see your slides better. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. That's okay. So Marta said I disappeared for a minute, so I will start with this slide again. This shows the United States, and this blue area is the Mississippi River Basin. This is the Mississippi River. This is Louisiana, and this is the Mississippi River Delta, where the challenge is focused. So about 41% of the contiguous United States flows down here and deposits sediments, building out the delta. And although sediment supply in the last 100 years or so has decreased due to dams on these tributaries and levees on the Mississippi River. So the delta, this is the Mississippi River Delta. Here's Baton Rouge, where I am located. This is New Orleans. You may have heard of that city. And this is the current location of the delta, the Bird's Foot Delta, you may have heard of. But this entire delta was built over the past 5,000 to 6,000 years as the Mississippi River changed course. So it would come down and bring sediments and build out these wetlands. And the Mississippi River changed course over time and built different parts of the delta. So historically, that water flowed carrying fresh water and sediments, and
Rachel, we cannot hear you now. I think you seem to be frozen, actually.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Day, but we cannot hear Rachel at the moment.
No, nor can I. I had trouble getting on, and I just finally managed to. I'll send.
Rachel will be rejoining in a second. We're sorry about the connection issues. Yes, I think Rachel is joining back. Rachel, are you there? Hi, it seems we lost Rachel. We're trying to reconnect with her.
Can you see me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you see me?
No.
Because I was on just a while ago. It took me a long time to sign up. I don't know what the problem is.
No, me neither.
I could probably give the talk. How many slides?
Yes, so Rachel, I think she will be rejoining in a second.
Okay.
Let's wait a minute, and if she cannot join, then it would be great if you could continue, if you know the slides.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I know the topic very well.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Let's just wait for Rachel. Do you have any contact with Rachel, Sophie? So my colleague Sophie is trying to reconnect also with Rachel. Hey guys, super nice to see that you are joining from so many different countries and you are enthusiastic about the challenge. We're sorry about the technical issues. We hope to fix it very soon.
She has less power at 24 milligram off. Can you ask John to finish the presentation?
All right. So, Dr. Day, we heard that Rachel lost power. What does it mean? Like her computer is off? Okay. Oh my gosh. In any case, she cannot join anymore. So if you could continue the presentation, that would be great. Something really serious happened with her computer. Would that be possible for you? Yeah.
Has she described this slide?
No. Sorry about that, everyone. And Dr. Day, you need to switch on your camera. Then we will be able to see you.
Okay. Well, I am not sure how to do that. I don't see.
It's on top of the screen.
There's a thing that says chat, and then the thing that says question and answer only. Let's see, maybe here.
You need to look at the top of the, so not on the right hand side, but more on the left hand side.
Wait.
Oh, well. When we had, in the past, we had many different situations during the info session. This is new experience to us, but
There you
Dr.
go.
Dare is there, so I give the floor to you. He has established commit resources, so he's the great person to take over from Rachel and finish the talk about the wetlands and coastal Louisiana. So thank you for taking over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm also a professor emeritus in the Department of Oceanography and Coastal Sciences at Louisiana State University, and I'm a deltaic scientist. I've worked all over the world. So what she's showing in this slide is historically the river would flood over into the wetlands and into coastal water bodies and give rise to accretion directly due to sediment deposition and indirectly to stimulation of the plant community, which gives rise to organic soil formation. And you can see there that there's a subsidence rate of up to 9 millimeters a year, and this is very common in deltas. So humans built levees on the river and drained a lot of wetlands in Louisiana, just like in the Netherlands, and pumps were installed for flood protection. So as soil accretion is reduced because there's no mineral sediment coming in and the productivity of the wetlands is lower, and subsidence continues and basically an increase because of a number of activities like drainage or oil and gas activity, which lead to induced subsidence. So that's the situation currently in the Mississippi Delta, and it's not so different from many deltas in the world. Let's see next. Okay, here are the primary causes of land loss. Sediment reduction because of levees along the river, saltwater intrusion into freshwater areas, oil and gas development, and Rachel and I have been very active in this, and that there's a whole suite of factors due to oil and gas activity, including induced subsidence due to reservoir collapse and induced faulting, toxins that are produced, especially with brine, high salinity brine that comes up with the oil, and this has contributed to the demise of wetlands in the coast. A lot of canals have been constructed both for navigation and for oil and gas access. And we have erosion on the edge of the marshes. Hurricanes are a big important factor affecting wetlands. It can lead to destruction of wetlands, but in healthy wetlands, it brings in large amounts of sediment, which can help the wetlands keep up with relative sea level rise. We have invasive species such as the nutria that graze heavily on marshes, subsidence, both natural and induced, sea level rise, of course, and saltwater intrusion. So then we've had this very high rate of land loss, and the map the map is of the Mississippi Delta, and living in a country like the Netherlands, there's maybe a lack of appreciation of just how large the Mississippi Delta is. It spans in this picture about 500 kilometers, and the colors there in red show wetland loss during from 1932 to 2016, and due to all of the factors we've talked about it. And you see there on the lower left, the loss of wetlands has continued right up until the present, and we're losing wildlife habitat, commercial fisheries, habitable communities, storm protection, wetland biogeochemical functions, and water quality improvement and recreational areas. And all of these are part of the value of ecosystem goods and services of the Mississippi Delta and deltas in general. Oops. And here's an example of oil and gas canals. You see, you have the long straight canals. These are access canals that allow vessels to go in and drill oil wells. And the short, can you see my arrow pointing to this?
No, we cannot see that, unfortunately.
Okay, so what you're looking at here are canals that give access to sites to drill wells. And the little short canals that are dead-ended, at the end of each one of those, a well was drilled. And you can see here you have about maybe 20 wells. And what we find in a situation like this is that there's a lack of sediment, because alongside each of the canals, you see there's a spoil bank where the material dredged from the canal is placed along the side, and that acts as a small dam in the marsh, well, a very high dam. And what we find is wetlands often deteriorate in the inner part of these canals because they have blocked sediment inflow. They lead to stagnation, long duration flooding, and this stresses wetlands and causes wetland loss. And this is widespread in the Mississippi Delta. There are probably about 10,000 or 15,000 kilometers of these oil and gas canals in the Mississippi Delta. And here's a diagram that shows you the difference between natural channels. You see the top is a top view of a natural tidal channel, and along the side is what we call the natural levee. It's a low elevation levee along the natural channel that allows high tide flows over that levee. It's a little bit higher because sediments are deposited there. But if you look on the other side, the spoil dredged from the canal is very high, can be up to 3 meters high, and the canals are deeper, 2 to 3 meters deep, as opposed to most of the tidal channels in the Mississippi Delta, which are very shallow. And so you can see in the upper right, the spoil banks block water flow, and they also sometimes connect to ponds and water bodies that were formerly isolated, like in the top left. And this allows water to come in and leads to erosion. Okay, next. So this gives you an idea of the density of oil and gas activities in the coast. Each of the red dots on this map, and you can see the Mississippi Delta under it, and the river coming down in the right side of the picture. Each of these red dots is a permit to drill an oil well. And so this was published by Turner and McClenachan. And so you get an idea of just how widespread in the Delta these oil and gas wells were, and they have the impacts that I was talking about. And this is one of the major causes of wetland loss in the Mississippi Delta. And we have marsh edge erosion, and these show you here, like the upper right hand is an example of erosion of an island in Terrebonne Bay, one of the large bays along the coast, over time. And you see the blue line is where was in 1989, and then it's eroding very rapidly. And you see here that in the bottom left, you have undercutting and of the marsh, and then it begins to separate and fall off. And so this leads to widening of canals and other water bodies due to erosion. Can you hear me, Martha?
We hear you very well.
Okay, good. So here's another example, saltwater intrusion. This Mississippi River Gulf outlet was a large, deep channel. You see, the river here flows down towards the coast in the lower left. But in the 1960s, this deep dredged canal here is about 30 meters deep to allow large ships to come up the Mississippi River because it was very short up this canal because it's shorter. But it allowed rapid saltwater intrusion into former freshwater areas, and all of the areas in wet and red in this area called the central wetlands died because of saltwater intrusion. And it also allowed a storm surge during Hurricane Katrina, which overtopped the levees in this area and in New Orleans and caused the massive flooding that people heard about everywhere. So we're looking at a number of nature-based solutions, and these are based on community and stakeholder engagements, economic benefits of job creation due to carrying out these activities. We're looking at funding, and this is the state of Louisiana also funding in a policy context, looking at risk reduction and property protection due to flood control activities, and long-term sustainability and governance, and the enhancement of social and cultural values. So here's some examples of nature-based solutions. Here's the current situation with levees. Water from the Mississippi River, which used to flow out of the river, you see on the upper left, and into the water bodies, which sustain fisheries and sustain the wetlands. But levees now prevent that. So one restoration option being employed in the Mississippi Delta is to create new outlets called river diversions, which allows water to flow back into the coastal bays and build new wetlands and support fisheries. So at the bottom, you see, without overbank flooding that brings in sediment, subsidence is greater than accretion. And wetlands convert to open water, and an option is to reconnect wetlands to the Mississippi River using large and small-scale river diversions. Influx of sediment-rich water enhances accretion and builds wetlands, and the turbid water can cause loss of oyster and seagrass habitat. So that has to be factored into the management of these things, because many of the oyster fishers have complained that these diversions hurt the fishery. And so that's an issue that we're dealing with in the Mississippi Delta. And so this shows some of the locations for diversions. Two large diversions were planned, the Mid-Barataria and the Mid-Breton Sound diversions, but these have actually been scaled back and even canceled. And there are smaller diversions. You see Davis Pond, Carnarvon, where small areas of land have been enhanced and built. And then there are outlets to the Mississippi River on the lower end at Fort St. Philip and Cubit's Gap. There, new wetlands are forming because the river has still flows out here, and we're actually getting land formation naturally at really at no cost. So here's another thing is using, because much of the coast is at a very low elevation and even below sea level, as in the Netherlands. So we're looking at the benefit of using stormwater discharge when it's pumped to enhance vegetation productivity and accretion. And this area shows we measured wetlands at near and far areas to the stormwater pump. And you see there, and hopefully the next one will show the gaining of land. So let's just go back one. You see this large area, open water area in the center of the photo with the near and the mid sites. You see it, the dark is open water. And after the pump ran for several years, this much new marsh on the lower right was formed. And we are currently, Comeat Resources is going to revisit this site after 16 years. We published a paper on it. We did a study and published a paper. And so 16 years later, we're revisiting the site to see, and this project is going to start very soon, to see if that land gain continued over that period. And so there's a nature-based solution. We also use sediment fences, and I spent a sabbatical in Utrecht in 1986 and viewed these, I think you call them sediment fences there in the Waddenzee that were used to capture sediments. And originally it was to capture sediments, raise the level of the land, then a dike was built, and then land was converted to agriculture. Now they're trying to capture sediments to restore wetlands. And this shows a project that we carried out on the shore of Lake Pontchartrain, a large lake. And here's the sediment fence. There was water at the top one in June 2025. You see it was open water. And then over time, this is filled in. And you can see in August 11th and September 1st, sediment has been captured behind the sediment fences and is starting to revegetate. And this is a technique we learned from the Netherlands. And there's a proposal to build a diversion from the Mississippi River, which is in the lower part of the slide. You see the red line is the channel that convey Mississippi River water to a large area of the Maurepas Swamp. A swamp in our terms is a wetland with trees, and cypress trees grow here. And it's been estimated that this large green area in the Maurepas Swamp will be benefited from this diversion. It compacts saltwater intrusion, and it has nutrients to stimulate vegetation growth and sediments to enhance accretion. Okay, so here's some resources. I think that's the end of the presentation. And I don't know if Rachel was able to watch it or not, but Rachel and I have worked together for now about 25 years. And so we did much of this work together. And so this is the presentation that she was going to make. She's very good at putting them together, and I'm only sorry that we had this problem.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Day. It was great that you could step in for Rachel. Apparently, her battery exploded, so thank you very much. Thank you also for this overview of the challenges, but also some possible hopeful solutions for the region. We will skip the Q&A just for the sake of the time. I hope that's okay with you, and I will jump straight into the more practical part about the challenge. So it was great to have you here. Yeah.
Can I ask you? Did you meet with Dr. Shu from LSU? Dr. Kevin Shu?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think the students from Louisiana and LSU in particular are going to prepare a proposal to the competition.
Yeah, that's very great. We're very excited about that. So thank you very much. And I will now jump into the presentation about the challenge itself. It was great to have you here. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I need to check for Maria.
Is she here? Is Maria here? Ask her how often she's coming.
Okay, so now we are into more practical part of this info session. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the Nature-Based Future Challenge is, how to participate, what the program is, and I'm also have a lot of time for answering your questions. So you might already know that this is a second edition of the Nature-Based Future Challenge. The first one was focusing on Bangladesh River Delta, and this year we traveled to the South Louisiana to focus on the Mississippi River Delta. And as you have seen, this region is very exciting because it faces a lot of different complex problems that need solutions, and technical solutions are not the ones that will solve it. And in the course of the challenge, you will also have a chance to learn a little bit about different master plans that are designed for the region and also different initiatives. So it's good to know that there's a lot of happening there, and still there is more needed and more ideas, especially in terms of nature-based solutions. And that's where you come in with your ideas and your projects. So this challenge is a global challenge, which means that students from all over the world can participate. And when we look at people who have already registered for the challenge, you can see that they really come from almost all of the continents and many different universities. And you can participate if you are bachelor, master, or PhD student, however, and also fresh graduate. However, there is a cap, so maximum 20% of the team can consist of PhD or fresh graduates. So that's really good to check if you qualify. And when you compose a team, make sure that you meet this criteria. And if you are a student of one of those programs, you're very welcome to participate. But of course, if you study something else, but you are familiar with the topic or you are interested in this topic, you're also welcome to join. So don't feel limited to only the studies that are mentioned on this slide. And as you can see, this challenge is very interdisciplinary. So all kinds of backgrounds fit in. So what is the assignment? The assignment is to develop a vision for nature-based future for Mississippi River Delta in 100 years from now. And it has to be a very comprehensive vision that includes biodiversity aspects, food and water security, but you also have to look into climate adaptability and resilience, and most important, or very important as well, to think about socio-economic and social impact. So you really have to include people. And in that region, I think it's really very important, like it has proven very important topic, because there were many different ideas for improving the, for projects to improve the area, and they did fail because of lack of social support. So this is really important. And during one of the upcoming events about the challenge on 2nd of December, we'll be showing a movie about the region, about the projects, and also about local stakeholders, to give you an idea about of what is going there, and also how people react to that. Then we'll have also people from local authorities to respond to this and give you more information about how that resonates with local people. So this is important, that your vision should be really comprehensive, include all those aspects. And for your reference, you could have a look at the project, The Netherlands in 2120, which this challenge is based on. It was a very inspiring project. You can also look at the results of the first edition of the challenge to see a little bit like what your final entry should look like. So how does it work? The challenge starts in January 26, and on 13th of January, there will be a kickoff event, and that's the official start of the challenge. And in June, on 2nd of June, there is the grand finals. It's good to know that not all the teams will make it to the finals. So this challenge consists of 3 rounds, and every round is a selection round. So that means that we'll start with an X number of teams. In the second round, there will be 20 teams participating, and in the final round, there will be 10 finalists. And we really try to make it like kind of a experience where you learn, but you also gain a lot by participating. And we also try to provide you tools to improve from one round to another. So every round of the challenge starts with a workshop. We call it studio in this case. And during the studios, those are hybrid events. You will hear about what you need to provide in this round of the challenge. And you will get some tools, and we will also start experimenting with those tools and get directly a feedback from local experts on your ideas. So that gives you a little bit of like that those events are really meant for you to get started for the round. In the first round, you will also get opportunity to ask feedback on your ideas, and then you provide your report. So I think this is how the challenge works, and I will have a little bit more detailed planning in the next slide. So the registration deadline for this challenge is on 17th of November, and that's actually, let's say, when the pre-challenge starts. So on 2nd of December, we'll have inspiration workshop, and on 9th of January, you need to have a team profile. So that means that between 17th of November and 9th of January, you need to create a team. And this inspiration workshop is, of course, an opportunity for you to learn more about the region, but it's also an opportunity for you to network and to find other people who might be relevant for your team. Some of you might already have a team, so that's great for sure. Some of you might have a not complete team, so still looking for team members. And if you are now listening and you are one of those cases, you can also use the chat to try to connect with other people who are now watching. But the actual challenge, it starts on 13th of November with the kickoff event. And here you can see how the rounds run. So the first round, the second, and the third one, which finishes with the grand final. And you can see that the third round is the shortest and the second round is the longest. And now I have a little bit more of explanation of what you need to do per round. It's quite detailed information. So just have a look at the slides. In the first round, you really focus on a big long-term vision for the entire region. So you start with analyzing all kinds of information, and we provide you also some data, like we call it a data book, with some basic information about the region. So you make an inventory, and based on this inventory, you create this long-term vision. And you also identify a region that you will focus on in the second round. So based on this entry, the selection committee will decide which 20 teams will make it to the next round. And the next round is about working out the plan for the specific region that you identified. And in this round, you also work closely with a coach. So every team will have a coach from our partner network and commit resources. So the consultancy firm of Rachael and Dr. Day is also one of the companies that provide coaches for this challenge. So you will be coupled as a team to one coach, and that person will help you by answering your questions, providing some suggestions. It's not a coach that is going to mentor you on a team process, but this is a person who can really help you with the content of your entry. So in this second round, you work out the plan for the specific region. And you also work out at the transition pathway for the area. So you need to decide like what are the steps that you need to take in next 1, 5, 20, 50 years to achieve the result that you foresee. And then if you have been selected, then you are among the top 10 teams. And that means that you will be invited to the finals that will take place on 2nd of June in Wageningen in the Netherlands. We will cover part of the costs for traveling and for accommodation here. And as finalists, you will provide, first of all, a report that is providing a comprehensive overview of your idea. So you kind of collect the results of the first and second round, you make it into a coherent story. And then you also present it in a form of pitch video and a poster presentation. And based on those entries, the jury will decide on the top 3 teams to win the challenge. And I think it's very exciting if you made it to the top 3 teams, because those teams will be again invited to show their results in Louisiana and with different partners of the challenge. So what is there for you? Well, I divided this slide into 2. So first of all, I think this is for everyone who is participating in the challenge. So no matter if you win or not, the participation in the challenge is a great learning experience. So you will experience a lot of personal development, but it's also a possibility to learn a lot about the topic of the challenge, and also to network with students from all over the world, and also with the industry leaders who are really working on this topic. And you can check on our website different companies that are supporting the challenge. And as you can see here, as one of the participants of the first edition said, it's one of the greatest experience in the field he has ever had. So those are like things that every participant is gaining from the challenge. And then there are more tangible incentives. So all the top 20 teams will get a certificate for participation. Then the finalists receive travel and accommodation budget to attend the finals. It usually covers at least one person to fully attend the challenge. Sometimes it's possible for 2 people to attend. And then you can do a little bit of fundraising if you want to attend with the entire team. The winning team gets €9,000 and exposure. And the representatives of the top 3 teams will go to Louisiana to present the results there. And we are here together with Urania. Urania is a former participant of one of our challenges. So I wanted also to use this opportunity to maybe give you first-hand information about how it is to participate in the challenge. So hi, Urania. Oh, we cannot hear you.
Now?
Yes, we hear you great. Yes. Yes.
Nice. Hi, everyone.
Yes, great to have you here. So can you say a little bit about your challenge experience? I think many people are really curious, how did you find your team?
Yeah, personally, I didn't have a team. I also decided to participate with a friend of mine. So we were just 2 students, so we had to formulate a team. And I managed to find people to connect via the info session of the challenge. So exactly what we're doing right now, because I saw many people searching for teams. So I just text them. And also I connected with my other team members via a platform in which every student creates her own profile with basically what studies does he or she follow, interest, and if, for example, searching for a specific background of student or specific characteristics. So we managed to formulate the team like that, and we did some team meetings with many students. So we ended up being 6 students at the end, but it was a very dynamic procedure. And basically, I would say throughout the info session and the platform with the profiles.
And I can add on this, I think it was not available in the previous challenge, but in this challenge, if you go to the website and tap people, then you will see all the people who are still looking for a team, and then you can send them a message. And then you will reach them per email. So if you identify a couple of people, maybe from the same country, maybe the study program that you find interesting, then this is a great way to connect with them as well. And you can, of course, leave the message on a pin board, and we will be trying to also put you in touch with each other if we see like this could be a potentially great team. So Urania, how was it for you? Like, what was your role in a team, and how much time did you spend on participation? Because I think this is also a question many people have.
Yeah, Marta, also I will add that many people, they can search also profiles in the LinkedIn. So if you find a name and you don't know many things about this person, you can find it also on LinkedIn and connect via the LinkedIn. Yeah, also regarding how much time I devoted, it depends. In the start of the challenge, basically you spend more time to get to know each other, like your team members, and you try to understand what is the topic of the challenge. And then you just do some weekly meetings through which basically you try to organize what you should search, how you will formulate your meetings, etc. So it's get to know meetings. But on a later phase, that you start pitching your idea and you try to identify the problem you would like to solve, the meetings become more, I would say, regular. So weekly basis, and also you have to devote more time. I remember that at the very, very start point, I devoted like 1 hour in 2 weeks for the get to know, but afterwards they become 2 hours per week, and close to the deadlines, we devoted even like 6 to 10 hours, but this was very close to the report deadlines. So it depends. I would say don't worry about it, because challenges are designed and organized for you, so students. So it's something doable that you can do alongside your studies.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great inside information. Then I'm also curious, like maybe a little bit about your experience. What did you gain from the participation in the challenge?
I gain a lot of things. I would say both scientific, but also soft skills. Regarding the scientific things I gained, it was mostly on other fields because, as you will see, your team probably will be multidisciplinary. So people from different backgrounds will formulate team. And of course, you don't have to know anything from the first point. You learn from each other. So I managed to gain some knowledge about management and entrepreneurship, but also some basic economics and marketing that I didn't have any background on that, but we have students that they have a related background or they have worked in a, let's say, related project. So I learned a lot about this. And regarding the soft skills, I would say that I managed to develop mostly my communication skills, but the pitching skills too, because we did a lot of presentation, small in duration, in which we have to compact all of the essential information we would like to present. So this was challenging for me, and I haven't trained a lot, but I managed to improve my pitching skills, I would say. And at the very end, I would say that my team working skills developed a lot as I handled a lot of difficult situations, like people were running out of time sometimes, or we saw that the task division was not very correct. Many people have other interests, so we have to reformulate, let's say, the task division. So it was also something that you learn and you become more experienced. And at the very end, I would say that I learned how to thinking more out of the box and formulate ideas that are more visible, I would say. So yeah, these are the key outcomes for me.
Cool. Very nice to hear. So maybe just final question: do you have any tip for participants of this challenge?
Yes. First of all, as I told you, don't be afraid about the time. It is something doable alongside your studies. Second one, I would say that you should take a step ahead. So go outside the university, ask for help from experts. Maybe you can do some interviews. They are really helpful in formulating or developing your ideas, and they can help you also formulate more visible ideas. Also contact people from LinkedIn and try to ask for help or opinion. I would say also find your own interest in this project, because as you can imagine, it's a project that has different aspects. So don't expect to know everything or to be good at everything. You can find your own path in this project and keep on working on this. Take the utmost of the networking events. They have a lot to offer to you. And actually, we got approached from a person from a company after the competition who was apparently watching our whole journey through this networking event and generally after that. So you can create opportunities that you cannot imagine. So take the utmost of these events and just enjoyed it, because it's your journey. It's something that you choose to participate in. And don't be afraid to do mistakes or that your idea is not good enough. Believe in your idea, because at the end, if you believe in your idea, you can succeed.
Super cool. Great tips. Thanks a lot, Urania.
You're welcome.
So I will finish with my presentation with this final slide explaining how to join. And then I will take a couple of questions. So how to join? Well, it's important to register before 17th of November. And don't also worry if you have team by that time or not. Even if you don't have a team, you will have almost 6 more weeks to form a team, because by 9th of January, you need to have a team and you need to create a profile for this team, which you can see how it looks like. So mostly it's about providing a logo, the name of your team, and a short information about who you are. And the other parts are coming later. So it's not too much work, actually. And you can still add team members as the challenge goes. So don't stress too much about it, but really start, creating teams. And I have seen already in the chat that many people are exchanging contact details. So that's great to see. Well, and then the next step is already to join the kickoff event on 13th of January, and then get started with the studio on 20th of January. So put those dates in your agenda. And I think in the chat, we have also shared with you some links. So for instance, a link to the calendar of the challenge where you can really see exactly on what days the events are taking place, the list of deliverables and criteria. So this is actually what exactly you need to provide in which round and how it will be judged. We also shared with you the data book, so with the basic information about the region. And those documents you can also find in the platform of the challenge. Well, maybe we shared some other links, but I don't remember anymore. So for the introduction and practicalities, that's my part. And I have seen some questions, which I will now try to answer. So let me go to the Q&A, and I see there were some very practical ones. So there is no fee for participation in terms of how many people should be in the team. There is no maximum. The minimum is 2 people, but for this challenge, we recommend the size between 5 and 8 people in a team. And please remember that we allowed max 20% of PhD of fresh graduates in a team. And the format of the report, well, you can see it in the document called Deliverables and Criteria. This describes in detail what size, what questions you should answer, in what form, and where to provide it and by when. And if you want to get a little bit of an idea of how your entry should look like, then you have a look at the website of the challenge, and then there's a tab First Edition, and there we shared the magazine of the challenge and also the entries of the top 10 teams. So it might give you an idea of where it's going. See also a question about organizations in the US. We have been in touch with many organizations in the South Louisiana. And I think you can find all our partners also on the website under the network and partners. So the tab is called network, and then you can see the partners. And many of those people will be coming back in our events as local experts. And did you do interviews to the community members? Yes. So via those organizations, we are in touch with also with the local communities. Yeah, I think those are the questions that I see so far in the chat. I don't know if anyone else wants to add something? When you will arrange us with our specific leaders, I think you mean the coaches that's in the second round. So if you have been selected to participate in the second round, that's around, I think, I just try to remember, in March, beginning of March. Yeah. Well, I have seen, we had a couple of polls. I have seen that so far, many of the people who are now in the intro session don't really have a team yet. So don't worry about that. Just register individually, and then you will find your team as Rania explained. I see also what vision means. I think it's best to check the deliverables and criteria. I think it's explained there a lot in detail. What exactly are the elements of the vision that we will ask you to provide? No, there is no fee, so you don't need to pay anything. If you decide to apply and are looking for a team, is there a website available? I think Sophie will share it in the chat. So on the website, there is a tab People. And there you can see, if you click on it, you can see all the people, all other people who are looking for team members. If we have 3 members, but we need more people to help, do you arrange people to us? So that is possible. However, I would recommend, you still have plenty of time, I would recommend you to reach out to people you find interesting, maybe look in your network, because usually it works much better if with people who are in your team, that you know them and that you have a good connection with them. So if the deadline for forming a team is coming close and you see it's not possible for you to find enough team members, send us an email and we'll be happy to link you with somebody. But until then, I would suggest that you try to connect with the people on the website, on the pin board, and maybe in this chat as well. Yes, I think our time for the format of the report, maybe Sophie, if you could share in the chat once again the document where you can find more information about the format of the report. And that will be, I think that answers your question, Aisha. Yeah, our time is up. Don't worry if you didn't have chance to ask your question or it comes later. You can always send us an email to Student Challenges. There is also a chat bot, so it's very useful in the way that you can use it, and it has answers from all our documents. So it provides a quite good idea of, like, it can answer quite well many questions that you might have. And I would say we hope to see you at the finals, but first, of course, at the kickoff event. Good luck with finding a team. Register now if you haven't registered yet. And we hope to see you in the challenge. Thank you for attending today. Bye-bye.